how do you come up with the idea of doing that film?
How did I come up with the idea?
Yeah.
Well, it's inspired by my family,
Mm-hmm.
and it's loosely based on what happened to us in a small town in Ohio during the first Gulf War. So actually, a lot of what happens in the film happened to us in real life, and actually, it was taken further in real life. It was actually much worse. But for example, my father, who's a doctor, lost a lot of his patients, and we got death threats. Um, and I think that my inspiration for the film came out of the fact that there was just a need for this kind of movie, that it was clearly missing from the landscape. A story about a Palestinian family told from a humanist point of view, with humor, with a sense of hope, with the main character that had sort of a fresh perspective and an optimistic perspective. Um, all of those qualities, having grown up in a very loving and proud Arab home, that was what I felt like I could share with people, and I felt like that was one way in which I could help shatter the stereotype that led to a lot of discrimination of my family during the first Gulf War.
Yep. But it's been a long time ago since the 9/11. So, what do you think that nowadays that is still existing this kind of prejudice about American
Yeah,
people?
for sure. I mean, I think that I started writing this film back in 2003, which 9/11 was very fresh.
Yep.
So, I think over time a lot has changed. I think that people are more aware of what's happening in the Middle East, more aware of the Middle East in general. And but there's absolutely still the stereotype, and it's still strong. But slowly, people are starting to at least open their minds up to considering another possibility, and that I think is encouraging.
This is I think it's your first large film. So that it's
My
your
first
debut
feature.
film. So how was your experience as a director?
Oh, it was amazing. It was really amazing. I mean, it was an incredible challenge, and there was a lot of difficulty in, for example, finding the financing and finding the cast. Spent 6 months traveling all over the world looking for the cast, and but overall, it was incredibly, incredibly rewarding, and I learned a lot about myself, not just as a filmmaker, but as a person. And it was also very therapeutic, I have to say, to make a movie that was so personal, where I was asking a lot of questions about my own identity. It was a very therapeutic process.